Hey everybody, hi, this is Scott Arvin and welcome to World Global Network's Corporate Vision Call for November 25th. We're excited to have you with us here tonight. World Global Network is a 3-year-old international media and technology company. We've been doing business in over 100 countries over the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, we've also developed 300,000 independent affiliates, and we just recently surpassed $150 million in annual sales revenue. We've got corporate offices all over the world in Singapore, New York, London, Shenzhen, China, Moscow, and Dublin, Ireland. And we just put another office here in the States in preparation for our American launch. We recently established our R&D, our administration, and operational headquarters in beautiful Miami, Florida. We're soon going to be listed in the over-the-counter market as World Media and Technology Group in preparation for our New York Stock Exchange public offering. And we're a world leader in 5 of the fastest growing consumer industries: mobile telecom, mobile advertising, video and VoIP communications, renewable energy, and wearable technology. We manufacture all of our own products. We own all of our intellectual property. We're not a white label marketer or a reseller. Our products are only available through World Global Network. It's a network marketing company. We're led by our founder, chairman, and CEO. You just saw him there in the video, Mr. Fabio Galdi. Fabio is a world-recognized thought leader and a very successful entrepreneur for the last 2 decades plus in direct sales, computers, the internet, telecom, and media. And he was recently voted as one of the top 5 top CEOs in network marketing. You also saw in the video the COO Alessandro Senatori and CFO Alfonso Galdi. These guys are mature, seasoned executives. They're leading the way for us, not only in our launch in America, but around the world. And we're very excited about tonight because tonight is a very historic night. We're just 1 week from Dubai. And I want to share with you a couple of things about what's going to be going on in Dubai. It's our Go Diamond, or our Diamond Life event. It's the 3rd one that we've had. You saw a little bit of those, the pictures on the video. They're amazing events, but it's very, very important that you understand the history that's going to be made at this next event, because we're going to be introducing a new product line called the Space System, starting with the Space Computer. The Space Computer is revolutionary, it's radical, it's new, it's very, very unique. No one else has it, and it makes every other system out there look like a toy. It's only 2.5 inches tall. Imagine this, only 2.5 inches tall. That's small enough to put in your pocket, where you can just clip it on your belt. Less than the size of a pager. But this little guy is the first wearable technology that has no compromise with the computing experience. And what I mean by that is that this isn't just a wristwatch or a fitness band that you put on your arm or whatever. This is an actual computer that's more powerful than most laptops. And it's the other thing that's really cool about the product is it's got its own hotspot, which means that it can connect other devices to its internet connection. It's Wi-Fi, 4G, and Bluetooth enabled. Once again, only 2.5 inches high, but you can plug external devices into it, like projectors. You can run a projector off of it. Keyboards, TVs, monitors. And that's the next thing I want to share with you is the monitor display that we have is called our Space Lumina glasses. These are Italian designed, high fashion. They connect wirelessly to your space computer. They deliver stunning 1080p pure HD video with surround sound HD audio built right in. And you can activate your glasses through your touch, your voice, or with gesture commands, just like Tom Cruise did in Minority Report. Phenomenal. And the glasses themselves are very light, very cool looking, and they feature what we call infinity vision, which means that based on your focal point or your viewing distance, you can scale the picture that you're looking at from the smallest size is 42 inches, which would be about the same size as a really good quality LED screen TV, all the way up to 420 inches, which is a mind-boggling 33 feet high picture with no loss in the picture quality. Still pure HD quality, 33 feet high, looking through these glasses connected wirelessly to a 2.5 inch computer. It's absolutely phenomenal. Everybody, when they see these, are going to want it. And then you got to have something to look at. Space Media is our platform that we're going to be plugging into the space computer. It's a software application that turns your space computer into a virtual home theater set-top box, streaming hundreds of channels of free music, TV, movies, video content, games. You can watch right on your Space Lumina glasses. So this is going to be introduced next week. That's why I'm sharing this with you tonight. That's why history is going to be made on the 2nd of December in Dubai with the premiere of the space system. Now, following up with that is we've got an additional amount of the system is wireless services, cloud-based digital apps that are just phenomenal, and this is going to be available to you on December 9th, which is 1 week later. This is what you're going to get paid on, because we've got these 3 weeks. We've got tonight, 1 week until Dubai. The next week is our soft launch on December 9th. That means that we're going to be opening up the USA with the products I'm going to describe to you right now. Space VoIP, featuring free unlimited calling and video calls to over 100 countries. Now imagine this. This is an app you can download on your computer or your phone. You can call unlimited calling and video calls to over 100 countries. And the other thing you can do is that you can call any mobile or landline phone in the world directly from your iMac or your PC, your laptop, your mobile phone. Absolutely phenomenal. We have Space Meet, which is going to be rebranded as it's an online webinar and video conference system that's set up so that you can host your own webinars up to 1,000 attendees and 32 video participants. So these are tools that you can use to connect and communicate and collaborate with your teams all around the world. And then SpaceWorks, which is fully integrated calendars, professional email, task management software, and then video postcards. So all of this comes together as part of the space system, and we're also introducing, I mentioned, Space Wireless, the wireless system. Space Wireless offers domestic and international calling plans for full voice, text, and data. We're on the fastest 4G network in the country. Works on any unlocked 3G or 4G phone, or on our own World Phone 4. We also produce our own high-tech smartphone. It's sleek, it's elegant, it's an Android phone, and it's available. It's going to be available for you in America here starting next week as well too. Now next week is very, very powerful because we've got some very, very high-tech consumer products, very unique, not available in network marketing. We're actually really excited about being able to make these available to everybody on December 9th. And we put together a program for you to be able to utilize this, where if you just come in, if you're somebody that's already signed up as a WIP member, which means that you came in at the very early stages, the pioneering stages, without it was just a sign up with a voucher at that point, you're one of the world important people. After that, we ran a promotion where you could come in and get positioned within the plan and be qualified to go master. We've got a master promotion that's come out. It's kind of morphed from time to time, and we're introducing it this week as our Go Master Faster program. Between now and December 9th, if you've signed up for $49 to get your digital starter kit, or if you do sign up, if you're a guest or a prospect, or if you're someone that's going out and prospecting like crazy, which you should be doing right now, between now and the 9th, anybody that signs up for $49 will have the opportunity to buy our master pack. That's our $5.99 pack for only $2.99. The other thing that provides you the opportunity to do is to get positioned into the pay plan as a master. So you're maximizing the pay plan right out of the box. You don't want to let this go by because everybody wants to start out on top, right? So you're having an opportunity, the company's doing everything they can do to provide you with every advantage. And I want you to know that the pay plan that we've got is absolutely phenomenal. We've got 7 people right now in the top 200 top income earners in the world. Network marketing, there's some big money that's being made in this industry, as you know. You're probably here on the phone tonight or on the computer because you want to make big money. If you've ever made big money before, you know the power of our pay plan. I want you to download it. It's on your website, and if you haven't had a chance to download it, then you need to do that and really study it, because when you begin to see the Infinity Pay Plan compensation, you're going to see that you're going to be able to make twice as much, if not 4 times as much money for the same effort in our compensation plan. And we've got proof of that because we've got people that are out there that are right now making huge dollars that are in the top 200 of all the whole industry. There's tens and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are involved in the network marketing industry worldwide. And we've got people from World Global Network that are in the top 200 income earners in the world. So I just want you to know that this is a major, major company. We've got awesome products. Our pay plan is proven. It's very lucrative. And we've got a supportive environment here too that's going to give you, it's a lot of fun. You saw in the videos, not only fun, but it's a supportive environment for training, for teaching, for helping people to grow, for you to have an opportunity to live your own highest values. And in terms of values, when you look at our corporate values, nowhere is it more clearly seen than in our World for People Foundation. We just gave $300,000 to start a school in Zambia, and that's not our first initiative. That's one of several that we've done. So we're actually changing the destinies of communities. So socially responsible, corporately engaged. This is a wonderful home for you. And we're very, very excited about what we've got coming up for the next 3 weeks, because everything that we've been working for the last 3 months is coming to a head. Tonight is the night when we're really beginning our countdown for next week in Dubai, when the space system is going to be introduced at the Diamond Life Convention, and then 1 week later, on December 9th, is when all the products become available. That is the soft launch in the USA. You want to get yourself positioned as a master for only $299. That also gives you the master pack. Get everybody on your team doing that, and you'll really see some big, big checks happening on the 16th, just 1 week later. So we're only 3 weeks out from some major, major paychecks. So that's what I've got for you tonight. I want to wrap it up here a little bit later, but first I always like to bring on my good friend Jeff Hooks, because Jeff is one of our top field leaders, a great trainer, teacher. He's got his eye on the ball and he's moving it forward, and I always like to have him come on and spend a few minutes with us and talk to you directly to the field. So Jeff, are you there with us now?
I am, Scott. Good evening, and good evening to all of you. It's just an honor, as always, to have a few minutes to catch up with all of us as an organization. This is going to be a very brief call, obviously by design. I do want to share a couple of thoughts as we head into really the Diamond Life Convention week in Dubai. In fact, as many of you know, many of the leaders and emerging leaders that I've been talking with over the last few days, I'm leaving this weekend. I'll be coming back. In fact, I'll be back on Monday the 8th. And so the best way to get in touch with me will be email. But let me share with you, there's so much, not only dovetailing on what Scott shared, but there is so much that is going to be unveiled, some that I know about, a lot that I don't at the Dubai event, but specifically for everyone on this call, and we've got many leaders. In fact, I know a number of you have conference rooms and living rooms full plugged into this call, but I want you to realize that a lot of the announcements that are coming forth next week in Dubai have a direct impact, positive impact on this pre-launch as we head towards our soft launch phase, not only for the official soft launch here in the U.S., but also for our Canadian leadership team and organization, our Mexican leadership team and organization. A lot of what's going to be unveiled in Dubai is going to have an immediate and a direct positive impact on our rollout strategy as we move forward, of course, towards our March official launch. And so it's going to be, stay tuned is my short answer to all of us, because we're one step at a time in terms of strategic advancement towards our soft launch and then our launch in March. And I do want to share with you a couple of housekeeping items. Put this in the leadership bucket, if you will, from a field perspective. I was on a small group call with one of my newer teams this earlier today, this afternoon, and we had an open Q&A at the end. It was a very positive conversation, about 14 individuals, 14 affiliates on the phone, and a couple of of guests that had some questions after they had reviewed the initial videos on the pre-launch websites. And through that discussion, it was a very positive discussion, of course, but it occurred to me that my leaders, and this is an individual that I sponsored and his team, it occurred to me from the dialogue that my emerging leader, the individual that I personally sponsored, so obviously I'm responsible, I'm not passing the buck, but it occurred to me that they had not read the frequently asked questions on the pre-launch website. And so a rhetorical question in the spirit of partnership for all of us is, have you actually read the frequently asked questions? And the reason I ask that is I want to make sure we all realize that that even though we're in pre-launch, there has been a very systematic step-by-step progress as we have moved forward through the month of November. And in other words, if you think about it conceptually, and many of you, I applaud many of you as early leaders, again, before the roads were paved during the WIP phase, because of some well-meaning affiliates. I mean, there was some misinformation, a lot of misinformation. There were no tools, and yet, as an organization, over 3,000 people got positioned during the WIP phase. Now that we're in the pre-launch phase, obviously, we're getting consistent, steady information. We do have the initial pre-launch tools, obviously more to follow. We've got the videos on our pre-launch website. We've got the PDF presentation. I understand, God bless all of you, I understand it's not a PowerPoint, but it's better than what we had, in the WIP phase, which was nothing. So right now it's step by step. It's about progress, not perfection. And think about it, the tools that we have now will equip and empower us to continue to build out the organization as we position for the soft launch phase 2 weeks from tonight. So back to kind of bringing it back full circle, at least for me, I spent some time yesterday reviewing the updated frequently asked questions, and when you read that, it will equip each one of us as field leaders to answer a lot of the questions. That frees up some of the I don't want to say unnecessary, because that's not really what I mean, but some of the less urgent trouble tickets. In other words, we don't want, you and I as leaders, as affiliates on the same team, we don't want the service organization to be tied up with questions that can easily be answered by you and me as field leaders based on the frequently asked questions. We want the service organization and trouble tickets to be opened for things that are, more important. And so each one of us needs obviously to take responsibility, and like all of us are doing, you wouldn't be on the webcast or the call if you weren't, but just make sure that we coach and train, leading by example, and review those frequently asked questions. They're continually being updated. When it comes to leadership, a couple more thoughts that I think are very relevant based on a number of the calls that I've had over the last week is, I think leadership at the end of the day, for you and me, for our role as entrepreneurs and affiliates with World Global Network, our role and our responsibility is to lead by example. At the end of the day, and we've got some amazing leaders in the organization, with many more coming on literally every single day. But at the end of the day, leadership is all about example. Our team will do what we do, not what we say. We all know that, in fact, many of us have coached and trained on the success principle that the leader sets the pace. I always tell people, well done is better than well said. And so it's important for us from a leadership by example standpoint to make sure that, again, it's your business. So, of course, as I mentioned each week, you can do what you want to do. But I would encourage all of us as a leadership team to focus on setting the pace and leading by example by focusing on the controllables that we have. And there's a question that I've coached and trained for many, many years. I call it the accountability question. And for those of you that are newer and some are brand new to the industry, here's the accountability question. If everyone in my business did what I did today, would my business have grown? That's a great question. If everybody in my business did what I did today, would my business have grown? Now, candidly, when I ask myself, and I'm looking at the mirror, pointing myself each night and every day when I think through that question, and I really sincerely do, I don't always like the answer. In other words, if I've gotten distracted and I'm focused on things that aren't the most productive, then I have to give myself a course correction. Leadership is all about action, then adjustment, action, and then adjustment. And so what that translates to me in terms of being in the trenches with all of you during this pre-launch phase is, for example, I had a personally sponsored individual whose credit card was declined. Well, what we did, and by the way, it turned out, now this isn't always the case, but hey, it's business, we're in pre-launch. In this particular instance, he forgot his initial and he had the wrong address. His card was actually tied to his business address. Now that's not always the case, but in this particular issue, it was. But what we did while we were resolving that, instead of waiting for a couple, 3 days, and it happened to be over the weekend as well, what he and I did is we put together a plan. He created his list, and we started doing individual exposures and follow-up three-way calls, and we did 2 small group calls. So as a result, he had a team of individuals ready to come on board as soon as he got his issue sorted out. And I know many of you, I applaud you, many of you are doing the exact same thing. So just make sure, again, from a leadership standpoint, that we're focusing on the things that are going to be productive and that we're setting the pace in terms of our example. Again, our team will do what we do. Well done is better than well said. And just like we talked about a few weeks ago, every time you and I connect and have a contact with one of our affiliates, somebody in our organization, it's an opportunity to encourage and an opportunity to build belief. And what I can promise everyone in this organization, everyone on this call tonight is, you just like Scott said, you are positioned beautifully. If you want to wait until December 9th, if you want to kind of wait until you've experienced the product yourself, no worries. It's absolutely your business, and I sincerely mean that. I applaud you. It's all good. If you are like me and you embrace the idea of that first mover's advantage, then we've got 2 more weeks to really position the organization for a fast, out of the gates December 9th in terms of transitioning into the soft launch, and of course some wonderful commission and royalty checks on December 16th. And so I'm going to toss it back over to Scott. I do want to wish to everyone, again, for our Canadian team, our Mexican team, we've got a lot of people plugged in. I know this is all coming together. It's all coming together as we move forward into the soft launch phase after Dubai. And for our U.S. team, obviously, I want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Thanksgiving. We've got so much to be thankful for. And again, our leadership, yours and my leadership, is going to be rewarded richly by setting the pace for our team, by focusing on our controllables, and by just recognizing with patience and with positive expectancy that one step at a time, big things are ahead for each one of us. And so with that, Scott, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right, Jeff. Well, I can never add too much to what you say. Brilliantly done, well said, and I want to thank you for being on the call with us tonight. And for all of you that are out there, I thank you for being on the call as well. Let's have a happy Thanksgiving. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Let's go forth and multiply. Let's take advantage of the time. Time is of the essence, and your time is now. This is your life, and this is your time. This is your global network. We're thankful to have you, and let's go out and make it big. Thanks so much for everybody who made the call possible here for WGN, a World Global Network. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye for now.